Donald Trump expects to be arrested after receiving horrifying news that he's a target of special counsel Jack Smith's January 6th promotion. I don't know. It's time for civil war. I don't know. But let's get into this article right here. NewsGuard certified. Donald Trump is bracing for a third indictment and imminent arrest after revealing he has received a target letter from special counsel Jack Smith regarding the Justice Department January 6th investigation. By the way, feel better, Timmy. I heard you're getting so old you broke your hip or something like that. I'm happy to fill in a little bit on the political news. In a dramatic post on his Truth Social account, the former president said that he was given a letter Sunday night while having dinner, confirming that he is the subject of a criminal investigation into a bid over the 2020 election. Trump said he would almost certainly be arrested and indicted and be given 4 days to respond. Later this week, he has also been offered a chance to speak to the grand jury, which meets at federal courthouse in Washington, D.C. In the post, he ripped into Special Prosecutor Jack Smith, claimed the investigation is election interference, and accused President Joe Biden after going after his number one political opponent. Probably all true, in my opinion. President Trump is still dominating the polls in the race to the 2024 Republican presidential ticket, but could now be facing 3 criminal trials during his campaign. He could face charges of obstruction, an official proceeding related to Congress Electoral College count on January 6th, defrauding the government over his fake elector scheme. Deranged Jack Smith, the prosecutor on Joe Biden's Department of Justice, sent a letter, again, it was Sunday night, stating that I am a target of the January 6th grand jury investigation, giving me a very short 4 days to respond to the grand jury, which almost always means an arrest and indictment, the former President Trump wrote. Smith is leading the Justice Department's investigation of attempts by Trump and his allies to overturn the election back in 2020. He's also leading the probe against Trump in regard to classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. A target letter means investigators have gathered substantial evidence linking the recipient to a crime, indicating that an indictment is near. Usually such letters invite the recipient to appear before a grand jury to offer evidence. Trump is expected to decline the invitation. Of course he's going to appear before the grand jury, the New York Times reported. They're afraid of him. Of course. Of course they're afraid of him. I think probably they continue to do everything they can to smear him before running. In my opinion, they will get 0 convictions. This is all about optics. This is all about control. And again, you may or may not be a Trump person, but I think you can look at this and think it's pretty interesting that they want to fill the headlines with all these indictments. Trump doesn't seem particularly worried. Smith was appointed as a special counsel by Attorney General Merrick Garland in November. As part of his probe, he has examined testimony and documents related to fundraising, Trump's rally that preceded the January 6th event. Wait, they're back to calling it an insurrection? I thought when they were defending that Fed, they were just calling it a protest. So it's back to, so when it's Trump, it's an insurrection. When it's that Fed guy, it was just a protest. At the Capitol, in communication between Trump and associates and election officials in the battleground states. Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, who served the White House advisor and Rudy Giuliani's Trump's personal lawyer, has also spoken with prosecutors. There's been at least 2 grand juries investigating the former president in his attempts to remain in power. One is related to Trump fundraising off his false claims and that he needed money to fight it. The other is the so-called, quote, fake electors, which refers to a plot by Trump allies to create and submit bad certificates in key battleground states that falsely asserted he won the Electoral College. I'm not sure that all of this, they're ever really going to tie directly to Trump, at least in a fair in a fair trial. It seems really unlikely. The whole even now they're bringing Ray Epps in. They're gonna arrest him so they can try to appear that they actually care, that they appear that it's some sort of. I mean, isn't there more important things going on in the world right now than we're still talking about J6? I feel like we didn't have hearings this long over 9/11. And we're still talking about this? Still? It's insanity. Trump in a statement repeated his claim that he's the victim of a witch hunt. Well, how could you disagree with that? He wrote that they have now effectively indicted me 3 times, which is probably a 4th coming from Atlanta, and added in capital letters, "This is a witch hunt all about interfering with the election and a complete and total political weaponization of law enforcement." I 100% agree with that. He also pointed out that he is Joe Biden's #1 political appointment, true, who is largely dominating him in the race for presidency. Maybe. He's dominating all of the other Republican candidates. And if they can find a way, to keep him off the ticket in 2024, I feel like they must think, I don't know if they're right or wrong, but they must think they can beat DeSantis. The former president is scheduled to travel to Iowa on Tuesday, where he's taping a town hall with Fox News host Sean Hannity. All of this is about trying to put quicksand in his campaign. It is my opinion, you let me know if you disagree, but it is my opinion that these indictments, there may be some smoke there may be some bad behavior, but let's be honest. Politicians don't get indicted. Politicians don't go to jail. This is 100%, in my opinion, Democrats trying to sandbag Trump in his election run. And it's going to backfire. That's going to backfire. Because he's going to go out on that campaign trail and say, look how scared of me they are. They know if I get back in power, it's going to, this, that, and the other thing's going to happen. Trump was indicted last month on 37 felony counts, alleging he illegally kept classified documents. But so did Joe Biden. So did probably every president ever. But because it's Donald Trump, he gets indicted. Right? Is Joe Biden going to get indicted? Keeping a pile of classified documents next to his Corvette? Trump's attorneys have asked that in any trial in this case take place after the 2024 election. Trump is leading the polls for the Republican presidential nomination. Smith's prosecutors oppose that request to delay. I bet you he will get it delayed. At Tuesday's hearing, the judge will address the trial schedule, but attorneys who discuss how they intend to handle the giant volume of classified material expected to be evidence in the case. I mean, it's wild to me. All this to say Trump's got to get back on Twitter. If he wants to fundraise, he'll make millions of dollars on Twitter. He's got to get back on Twitter. He's got to fight this. And by the way, to be honest with you, it's maybe not even just the Democrats, because you look at a situation, all of the Republicans that were never Trumpers, all of the Republicans that fought tooth and nail against him to make sure he never got anything done. These people are also a part of it. There are many Republicans that want the status quo. There are many Republicans that want that war machine up and running uninterrupted. They too, in my opinion, work against Donald Trump. Was he the perfect president? Far from it. But I never felt like he didn't have the American people on his mind. I think that, you have the situation where if they can sandbag him enough, if they can slow him down enough, the election's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Do I think that Joe Biden is going to get as many votes as he did last time? No chance. No chance. The reason there were so many votes is because half this country was locked down. And he got outmaneuvered by Democrats. He just did. He told everyone, go to the polls. He should have been telling everyone, no, request your ballots. Tell every Republican family member also to request, just get the votes in. Get the votes. I don't care how you do them. And if he corrects that this time, and increases the volume of votes for him, I don't think Trump's base is going anywhere. I think that the idea that the moderates just don't want him, they just want a boring guy, I think that's fabricated. I think there are a lot of people that may also vote for Ron DeSantis, but I will tell you this much. The machine is certainly working against Trump. Certainly working against him. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see if people remember $2.50 gasoline. And remember having a president that can speak a coherent sentence, that can walk up and down stairs. Seems like they're afraid about that. I'm curious why that is, though.